Art History Podcast, Art and the Writing Industry by Jennifer Shank Maxwell, January 2013. And now, an interview with William J. Torgerson, professor and author. We're sitting here talking with Bill Torgerson, professor and author. Tell us a little bit about your background.
I went about 11 years teaching public schools in Indiana and North Carolina. And there's something called the National Writing Project, and I went through what was called a summer institute, and I sort of was bit by the writing bug, and then I did an MFA in creative writing. I had no intention to come to the Northeast, but I applied for jobs all over the country, and I have a position teaching 3 sections of freshman composition. It's supposed to be freshmen, but they almost always put that class off until they're older. And then, so I teach at St. John's University in what's called the Institute for Writing Studies. That's in Queens, one of the boroughs of New York City.
What do you see as the role of the visual arts in our mass-mediated world, and particularly in the writing profession?
Well, I think I have followed writing and telling stories and teaching writing into digital spaces. You know, I would have just thought about images as in words or phrases that appeal to the senses, but now I certainly deal in visual images a lot also. Visual images have come into my life more and more every year that I do this.
With new communication and media technologies, imagery is almost instantly available. Do you believe this is a positive or a negative thing for our industry?
I want to start with that idea of instantly available. So I find it, I think the attention span of the audience is certainly decreasing because of that. I find it challenging in a good way to think about how I will engage my students, which tends to be that I stand and talk very little and that everything is project oriented. And so you are doing some great things. You know, you're interviewing people, you're making podcasts, you're posting videos, so it sounds excellent, the sort of work that you're doing. I would never think in terms of positive or negative, or that something is, it's more complex than that.
What popular images are frequently rechanneled throughout the entertainment industry? And the other one is, what are the popular images that the particular images that the industry has popularized?
I think, for example, an image that's important to me that was, take John Cusack and Say Anything, the movie. He holds the boombox above his head.
So do you think that the writing industry has popularized any particular images?
I would go back to, I might take something like Robert Burns's Red, Red Rose. The idea of a flower or a red rose, and again, the ocean again. If I said I had a favorite painter, I would be a fraud. I would have to research that answer. My wife and I were talking this morning, and that's what I was telling her. That my answer would probably be my daughters, just the little paintings they make me, that hang around the room, much like you have done. A guy like Cameron Crowe is the director of the film Say Anything. So I tend to, I certainly have favorite writers, and I try to learn to read them like a writer. That certainly includes thinking about the way that they use images. And then I would look to cinematic directors as sort of people that would influence my work to some degree. I wouldn't point to the world of art in the sense of paintings or sculptors to say that they're influential. I think more about film and music, probably.
Writing is creating art for your mind. And art inspires writing.